Hello, everybody, and welcome back into another quick fire with the Hockey Writers. We're on our second video here, and I've got three new people on our next one here. I got Trege Wilson, who covers the Montreal Canadiens, as you can see by his hat there. Jim Bay, Tampa Bay Lightning. We had him on post-game shows, if you've probably seen him on the YouTube channel. And of course, Devin Little, Detroit Red Wings, Grind Line, Prospect Corner. You've seen him all over the place. So welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for coming on the second episode of the Quickfire. We're just going to run through a bunch of these questions and get your thoughts quickly, and let's get going. And let's start with one that just basically happened today. Montreal Canadiens announced their jersey sponsorship, and it's creating quite a bit of buzz on Twitter and all over social media. So the question is, how do you feel about adding a jersey patch or an advertisement to a historic jersey like the Montreal Canadiens has been around forever? And we'll start with you, Treg, on this one.
I don't like it, but I really don't care. It doesn't affect me. We all knew it was going to happen. Started with the helmets, and here we are with the jerseys, and you're probably going to see more.
Yeah. Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hockey purist. I'm not really overly thrilled by it. I think my concern is what I don't want to happen with these jerseys is that they end up looking like NASCAR or some of the European teams where logos are just all over them. I don't like that look, but given that money is what it is, and they can bring a little extra money, like Treg said, it was bound to happen, and I'm okay with it.
All right, Devin, finishing on with you. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like we're all in agreement here. It's a fact. It's a matter of fact at this point, right? Nothing we can do about it. As long as it doesn't get too out of hand, I can live with it. But yeah, I'm certainly not thrilled about it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is people are just, because it's Montreal Canadiens, there's it's been jersey that's been around forever. Original six. I think a lot of those teams will get that with that one. So yeah, it is what it is, and that's what's going to be, and all NHL teams are going to have it eventually. So we're just going to have to live with it, I guess. Okay, next question. This is on another pretty big subject that's happening because Montreal just named their new captain, Nick Suzuki. So agree or disagree, a team's best player should be their captain. So agree or disagree on that one. We'll start with you, Jim, on this one.
Oh, I totally disagree. Being a captain is about being a leader. Sometimes that happens to be the best player. Sometimes it happens to be somebody who is not the best player. And I think with a lot of these teams, they need a captain who's a leader. I think that's the first and foremost thing about being a captain. So I don't always think it has to be the best player.
All right, Devin, what do you think?
Well, I'm sitting on a panel here with a Canucks writer, a Lightning writer, a Red Wings writer, and a Canadiens writer. And I would venture to say that the captains of all of our teams are not exactly their best players. But I think that we would all agree that the guys who are wearing the C's for our teams are the right guy, or the right fit for the job. So yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree that it has to be the best player. It's got to be the best leader of the team.
And Treg, what do you think?
Well, actually, Devin, our captain is our best player, Nick Suzuki. Just got named captain today. So, but I agree with the other two. No, it doesn't have to be their best player. It has to be the best guy in the room, the biggest leader in the room, the ones that the players look to when they need answers, and someone who's very involved with the community of the city that they're with.
Yeah, and I'm on the panel, I guess, too. But yeah, I totally agree with that, because the captaincy, like I say, Bo Horvat in Vancouver is not the Canucks' best player. I'd say he's a core player, but he's definitely not the best one of the players that are on the Canucks. So yeah, good thoughts there. Okay, we'll keep on the captaincy talk here and talk about a team that hasn't named their captain yet, and Philadelphia Flyers. So Treg, we'll start with you on this. Who should get the captaincy in Philadelphia?
I'm going to go with Couturier. He has a long contract. He's relatively young. He's, I guess, could be the face of the franchise going forward. So yeah, I would go with him. I'm not sure what the room's like in Philadelphia. According to Torts, it's not very good, but hopefully he can. Yeah, I think it would be him if I picked anyone. It would be him.
All right, Couturier. Jim, what do you think?
Can I pick nobody? Because
can
I
pick
honestly
nobody.
don't think
Yeah, you
anybody
can-
on
you
that
can say
roster
no one.
deserves to be the captain. Like what Trege said, Tortorella said in an interview 3 days ago, he doesn't like the culture. He wants to go in and change it. He said he's not in a hurry to name a captain, and looking over their roster, I can't pick anybody that I think deserves to be captain. I think that, a lot of teams should be able to go without a captain. I think having a captain is sometimes a bit overrated.
Yeah.
I was,
All right,
I was
Devin.
thinking the exact same thing, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I could have said, you could say no one.
Okay.
All right, Devin, what do you think?
Yeah, some combination of what both Treg and Jim said. I don't think that they need a captain this year, especially with a new coach. I think it might benefit them to at least spend a year without one and kind of get to know the coach and implement that new culture. But then also, if they were going to name one and I was going to predict who it was, I would assume it'd be Couturier. I think he's the longest tenured player at this point. He's won a Selke. I think he plays the game the right way, but if the locker room is not in a good spot, I'm sure he's a contributing factor to that.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see who end up being the captain there. It may not be until next year or whatever. So we'll see. All right, next question is going to be on rookies coming in this season. Calder Trophy favorite, and there's quite a few. So I've given you options on this one. Matt Beniers, Seattle Kraken, Mason McTavish, Anaheim Ducks, Owen Powers, Buffalo Sabres, Kent Johnson, Blue Jackets, or you can go off the board. We'll start with you, Devin, on this one.
Well, as you mentioned off the top, I'm also featured on Prospect Corner, and I've mentioned on that show that Matty Beniers is my pick for the Calder Trophy, and I have not changed my mind since then. I think he showed really well for himself in his little 10-game stint with the Kraken this past season. 9 points in 10 games. That's pretty impressive. And I have full expectations that he's going to kind of continue, doing what he did going into this season. He's probably going to be the Kraken's top center. And then Seattle added some talent in this offseason. So I think he's in a prime position to have a really good rookie season.
All right, one vote for Matty Beniers. All right, Treg, what do you think?
My heart says Slavkovsky, but it's not. I don't think it will be. But I'm going to go with McTavish. I think McTavish had a great junior. Played great at the World Juniors, and I think he's going to continue that trend right on with the Anaheim Ducks. So yeah, I'm going to go with the McTavish, but I wouldn't be shocked if Beniers was the guy.
Yeah, you're right on my one. I said McTavish too. All right, Jim, finishing up with you. What do you think?
I'm gonna stick with defense on the Calder and go with Owen Power. I think he's in a really good situation in Buffalo. They have a lot of good young talent. They have some veterans. They've got some veterans on to play defense with them. So he doesn't have to come in and feel like he's the guy. I think he played like 8 games in Buffalo at the end of the season. I think that was a great experience for him to take and work on things over the summer. So I look for him and some of the other young players in Buffalo to kind of step it up this year. I think he's in a really good situation.
Yeah, good, solid choice there too. So I mean, there's quite a few rookies in this running this year too, just like last year. It's going to be pretty fun to watch the Calder Trophy race. So early favorites, we'll come back to this and see if any of us are going to be right. All right, final question, and this one is on young players as well. Who is the best under 25 defenseman after Cale Makar? Because everyone knows Cale Makar is the best right now. So you got some options here. Quinn Hughes, Vancouver Canucks, Miro Heiskanen, the Dallas Stars, Adam Fox with New York Rangers, or Moritz Seider, Detroit Red Wings. You can also go off the board and say someone else. So we'll start with Jim on this one.
Having watched him from covering the Rangers before, I'm going to go with Adam Fox. He's just been terrific. The past couple of years, he's really blossomed into a top defensive talent. He just does, so much on the ice, offensively and defensively. His teammates love him. that would be my next pick. I love Foxy Clean. He's really good, really good.
Good choice. All right, Devin, what do you think?
Well, I know who I'm supposed to pick here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say Miro Heiskanen. And the reason why is because he's been a really, really, really good defender for multiple years now. I think that's the only reason why I don't say Seider here is because he's only had the one season. And I also think that if Heiskanen played anywhere but Dallas, like if he played in New York, LA, or Chicago, or one of the big cities, I think a lot of people would be saying Heiskanen for this question. I think he kind of gets overshadowed based on where he plays. But with John Klingberg out of there now, I think that that's his team on the blue line. So I expect even more people to realize just how good Miro Heiskanen is this year.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Treg, finish up with you. What do you think?
I was going to say Seider, but Devin brought up a good point where he's only had the one season. So I'm going to have to go with Adam Fox. He's just a solid two-way defenseman. He plays well in his own end, which is a big thing for me. And he has the offensive skill. And to me, that is your true defenseman. Like I know lately the Norris is whoever has the most points or looks really flashy on the ice gets the Norris. But to me, you got to play both sides of the ice, and I think he does that very well. Heiskanen, I mean, it's a tough call because I would go with him too. Like you can't really, yeah. Thanks, Matt. It's it's
a good question.
Pick your guy, but I'm going to go with Adam Fox. I'm going to stick with Adam Fox. Yeah.
As much as I love Quinn Hughes, I probably wouldn't pick him here either. I would probably lean towards Adam Fox at this point as well. So. But Hughes is getting there. I think his defensive game just needs to get better, and then he'll be in that realm as well. So solid choices all around, and lots more coming. Like we talked about Owen Power, he's another guy that's maybe in this conversation later on. So we'll have to see. Okay, thanks guys for coming on the latest episode of the Quick Fire. Of course, you can follow all their writing at their respective teams, and have fun with the season previews coming out as well. And we'll see you next time in the next Quick Fire.